Well, good Saturday afternoon. This is Kent Blaylock with SDG Replays coming to you live from the. No, I am live. Oh, good. Well, now that I know I'm live, coming to you from North Carolina and continuing our play in the battle for the best, or the battle of the best, with PC Replay Basketball's collection of all-time great teams. And we're just into the first round of games. This is a double elimination tournament, so it's win and go forward in a winner's bracket or drop down into the loser's bracket. In today's game, we're going to find ourselves with two teams from the same era, tomato, potato. But we're going to be looking at two teams that are familiar with each other, because we're going to have, as you can see here on the screen, that the matchup that has not been played yet between the 93-94 Houston Rockets and the 96-97 Utah Jazz. So the 93-94 Hakeem Olajuwon-led Rockets against the 96-97 Stockton Malone Utah Jazz. And that's the matchup we're going to have. As you can see, we've played out some other games. Our last game was a laugher. The 86-87 Lakers destroyed the 75-76 Nuggets by a score of 151-131. It was never close. First quarter was fairly close, but then after that, it was all Lakers. So this should be an interesting game and should be play out pretty competitively. So let's get into the game. So if you look at your starting lineups, starting for the visiting Houston Rockets, you'll have Kenny Smith at point guard, Vernon Maxwell, your shooting guard, Robert Horry, your small forward, Otis Thorpe at power forward, and Hakeem Olajuwon at center. For the Utah Jazz, John Stockton at point guard, Jeff Hornacek at shooting guard, Byron Russell at small forward, Karl Malone at power forward, and then Greg Ostertag at center. This is going to be a matchup of Olajuwon against the two-headed monster of Malone and Stockton. It should be an interesting matchup, so let's get into it. First, let me make an adjustment here. I'll put my mug down here at the end. It will interfere a little bit with some readings, but not much. So we're going to get into this game, and then let's enjoy some NBA action here this Saturday afternoon. I have been rolling my own dice, but just for time's sake, I won't do that today. I'm going to just let the dice do it. I'll let the computer do the subbing and the strategy. I'm just going to call the game. So we go to our tip-off. Tip-off between Olajuwon and Ostertag. 1-43, it'll go to home. Anything over that will go to the Rockets. And Ostertag with the control of the tip. Jeff Hornacek with the action. Roll higher of 5, it'll be a pass. Anything other than that, it's going to be a three-point attempt. Hornacek from beyond the arc, and he misses. Rebound, Olajuwon. And let me turn that down a little bit. I've got this playing on my TV as well, so it sounds pretty loud. Rebound, Olajuwon, and they looked at fast break immediately out of the first miss. Rare play event already. All right, Maxwell is grabbed by the defender as he races across the court. It's a clear path foul called. Sloan Jerry Sloan protests the call, and we have a technical at the very first play of the game. So Kenny Smith steps to the free throw line, takes his first shot, and he misses the technical free throw. Now Maxwell goes for his shot, and he makes it good. Otis Thorpe now with the action for the Rockets. He misses, but gets his own rebound. And he kicks it over to Olajuwon. Olajuwon being guarded by Ostertag. Byron Russell steps down into the lane and strips Olajuwon of the ball. And they're off on the fast break once again. Drives to the hoop. Russell does, but offensive foul as he runs over Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith stepping in and taking the charge. Otis Thorpe now with the action for the Rockets. He'll swing the ball inside to Olajuwon. Olajuwon for the 2 points, give Kenny Smith the assist as they move the ball around and into Olajuwon. Greg Ostertag now with the action. Being covered by Olajuwon in the post. Posting him up, he takes a shot and it is blocked. But he gets the offense rebound and then he dribbles and slam dunks over Olajuwon. Foul on Olajuwon. Ostertag goes to the line to shoot one. And he makes it. Ostertag did not give up on the play and got rewarded for it. Vernon Maxwell now with the ball for the Rockets. He pulls up beyond the arc, fires away, and it is good for his 4th point. Karl Malone now with the ball for the Rockets. Excuse me, for the Jazz. Wrong team. He'll swing the ball over to Byron Russell. Russell with the ball will shoot the 3-pointer as he fires from long range and misses, but follows his own shot, gets his own rebound, and kicks it inside to Malone. Malone being guarded by Thorpe will pass the ball over to Stockton on the wing. He shoots, misses. Rebound, Olajuwon. Olajuwon kicks it to Kenny Smith, who's racing up court, being guarded by Stockton. He pulls up on the elbow, shoots, he misses. Rebounded, Karl Malone. Malone brings it up. They work the ball in to Ostertag, who kicks it back to Malone. Malone shoots and is good. Assist to Ostertag. Otis Thorpe with the action for the Rockets. He shoots, misses. Rebounded, Byron Russell. The Jazz bring the ball up court, kick it into Malone. Good for his 4th point. The Rockets bring the ball back up court, kick it into Olajuwon. Olajuwon skips the pass over to Robert Horry. Horry being guarded by Russell. He misses. Rebounded by Russell, his 3rd. They move the ball up court. Stockton with the action. Stockton over to Ostertag, who scores. Give the assist to Stockton. Robert Horry bringing the ball up court. Looks to shoot the 3. Fires beyond the arc, and it is good for his first points of the game. Our score's tied up 9-9 early in this contest. Karl Malone with the ball, being guarded in the post by Otis Thorpe. Malone post up, shoots, he misses. Rebounded, Robert Horry. Rockets bring the ball up, kick the ball into Olajuwon in the post. Olajuwon moves the ball around to Smith, back into Olajuwon, being guarded by Ostertag, and it's stolen by Ostertag. Great defense by Ostertag on Olajuwon, and the Jazz are off on the break. But Byron Russell again called for the offensive foul on the fast break as Scott Brooks stepped in front of Byron Russell. Substitutions in for the Jazz. Mario Eli with possession for the Rockets. He shoots, misses. Rebounded by Ostertag. The Jazz bring the ball up court. They kick it over to Morris. It's being guarded by Eli. Here, Eli with the steal. And the Rockets are off on the break. John Stockton hustles back and holds up the fast break. So they kick the ball over to Smith, who's now at shooting guard as Brooks is in at point guard. He kicks it over to Horry. Robert Horry with his 5th point. Give the assist to Smith, his 2nd. The Jazz bring the ball back up court. Kick it in to Ostertag. Ostertag will attempt a 3-pointer. Poor decision by Ostertag, but can he make it? He does not, but he follows his own shot and gets the rebound. And kicks it into Morris on the wing. Morris with the 3-point attempt. He misses, rebounded by Kenny Smith. And Smith is out on the fast break. Kicks it over to Robert Horry, but he misses, rebounded by Ostertag. And the Jazz are off the other way on the fast break. And again, an offensive charging foul on the Jazz. Scott Brooks now has the action for the Rockets. And he's fouled by John Stockton. Hornacek and Anderson in for the Jazz. Mario Eli with the action for the Rockets. He shoots it over to Horry, who scores his 7th point. Give the assist to Mario Eli. Shannon Anderson now with the action for the Jazz. He will attempt a 3-pointer, firing away from long range, and it is good for his first 3 points of the game. And a 13-12 Rockets lead. Otis Thorpe with the action for the Rockets. Being guarded by Ostertag. Anderson steps into the lane, forcing Otis Thorpe to give it up and kick it over to Robert Horry, who shoots and misses, rebounded by Antoine Carr for the Jazz. Antoine Carr with the action, being guarded by Robert Horry. Stolen by Horry. Timeout Houston as Olajuwon comes back into the game. Malone back in for Utah, playing center, matching up against Olajuwon. Scott Brooks with the action. He'll pull up from 3 and fire away, and it is good. Assist Olajuwon. Jeff Hornacek with the action for the Jazz, being guarded by Brooks. And he scores, posts Brooks up. The 6'3 Hornacek posting up the 5'11 Brooks for his first 2 points. Kenny Smith now with the ball for the Rockets, being guarded by Shannon Anderson. And Anderson steals the ball from Smith. And the Jazz are off on the fast break. And again, another offensive foul called on the Jazz. That's the 4th one that I've counted so far. Great defense being played by the Rockets. Scott Brooks now with the ball. And he's fouled by Hornacek. That's Hornacek's 2nd foul as Carl Herrera comes in. Howard Isley in for Hornacek, who goes to the bench with 2 fouls. Scott Brooks, again with the action, being guarded by Howard Isley. He shoots, misses, rebounded by Chris Morris of the Jazz, who kicks it over to Isley, who works it into Malone, working on the inside against Olajuwon. Malone with the ball, and he turns it over. Too much defensive pressure from Olajuwon. With 4 minutes to go in the period, the Rockets lead 16-14. Brooks with the action. Kicks it over to Carl Herrera, who's just entered the game. Herrera shoots, misses, rebounded by Malone. And the Jazz are off on the fast break once again. Anderson shoots, misses, rebounded by Mario Eli, who kicks it up to Kenny Smith. Smith being guarded by Anderson. He shoots, scores, and is fouled. Give the assist to Olajuwon as Smith goes to the free throw line for 1. for the 3-point the old-fashioned way. And it is good for a 5-point Rockets lead. Chris Morris with the action for the Jazz. Again, he's beyond the arc, fires away, and it is no good. Rebounded by Olajuwon, his third. As they kick the ball up to Carl Herrera. Being guarded by Antoine Carr. He shoots and scores his first 2 of the game. Howard Isley now with the ball. Being guarded by Brooks. And fouled by Brooks. Sam Cassell now in for Kenny Smith. Shandon Anderson with the action for the Jazz. Being guarded by Cassell. He shoots, misses. Another rebound for Eli. Is that Ely? That's Mario Ely, ain't it? I believe so. So they're off on the fast break. Brooks for the Rockets is called for the offensive foul. A lot of offensive foul calls in this game so far as Greg Foster comes in for Malone. Howard Isley with the ball. He shoots and scores as he takes advantage of the smaller Brooks. Mario Ely with the ball. Kicks it in to Herrera. For the high percentage shot, he scores. Give the assist to Ely. Again, Howard Isley with the ball. Again, attempt a 3, and this time it is good for his 5th point. Sam Cassell with the ball. Kicks it into Olajuwon, and it is good. Give the assist to Cassell. Antoine Carr now with the action for the Jazz. And he's fouled by Herrera. As Vernon Maxwell comes in. Carr steps to the line. Misses his first. Toes the line for the second. And he misses both. As Olajuwon collects the rebound. Vernon Maxwell now with the ball. Being guarded by Shandon Anderson. And he's fouled by Anderson. Maxwell will step to the free throw line for 2 shots. He's good on the first for his 5th point. Now he steps to the line for his second. And it is good for an 8-point Rockets lead. Minute 24 left to go in the first period. Shandon Anderson with the action. He misses. Rebound Olajuwon. And the Rockets are off on the break. But Eli is held up as the Jazz get back on defense. Ely. Chris Morris with the ball. Mario Ely with the ball, guarded by Morris, He shoots and scores. Give the assist to Brooks. Minute 12 to go. 10-point Houston lead. Shandon Anderson with the action. He passes the ball, and Utah calls timeout as Thorpe comes in for Herrera. Malone in at power forward for Carr. Chris Morris with the action for the Jazz. Being guarded by Olajuwon. The bigger Olajuwon steals the ball from Morris. Just says, give me my ball. Kicks it up to Vernon Maxwell, who kicks it over to Olajuwon for the give and go. 6-point for Olajuwon, first assist for Maxwell. Greg Foster now with the ball. 38 seconds left in the period. Houston leads 31-19. Foster misses. Malone with the offensive rebound. And he is fouled by Thorpe. Malone will go to the free throw line shooting 2. Makes his first. And misses the second. Rebounded by Olajuwon. Olajuwon with the action. He misses. Rebound by Malone. And the Jazz are off on the fast break as Anderson takes it coast to coast for his 5th point. Rockets with the ball. Olajuwon has the action. Being guarded by Foster in the post. He misses. Rebounded by Howard Isley. Kicks it over to Shandon Anderson. Anderson will attempt the 3-pointer, firing away. He misses. But an offensive rebound, Chris Morris, who kicks it into Malone in the post. Being guarded by Otis Thorpe. He scores his 7th point. Give the assist to Isley. 8 seconds to go in the period. Olajuwon with the action. He posts up Foster and is fouled. Olajuwon goes to the free throw line to close out the period. Makes the first and the second. And that's the end of the quarter. Rockets 33, Utah 24. Let's take a look at their stats for that first quarter. Olajuwon leading in points and rebounds for the Rockets and for the game. Mario Ely, 2 assists for the Rockets. Malone leading in points and rebounds for the Jazz. The Rockets out shooting the Jazz right now 52% to 43 and doing better in assists. The Jazz have done better rebounding the ball. So that explains the lead. 10 fouls against the Jazz. A lot of offensive fouls for them in the first period. I counted 4 offensive charging calls in the first period. So we go to the second. Houston 33, Utah 24. Russell and Stockton back in the game for the Jazz. Scott Brooks with the action, kicks it over to Mario Ely. Ely with the action. He fires away a 3-pointer, and he misses, but he follows his own shot, gets the rebound, and kicks it into Olajuwon in the post. And Olajuwon fumbles it out of bounds. Turnover. Karl Malone now with the action for the Jazz. And he'll be fouled by Maxwell. Malone steps to the free throw line, takes his first, and it is good. Toes the line for the second, and he makes both for his 9th point. Vernon Maxwell bringing the ball up the court. He fires away another 3-pointer, and it is missed. Byron Russell with the rebound as it rolls around the rim and kicks off the backboard into Russell's hands. He kicks it up the court to Stockton. Stockton shoots, misses. Rebound, Otis Thorpe. Thorpe kicks it up court to Brooks, who kicks it into Olajuwon in the post. He shoots, misses. Rebounded by Chris Morris. The Jazz move the ball up court, kick it into Foster in the post. And he's fouled by Olajuwon. That'll be Olajuwon's 2nd foul as Foster goes to the free throw line to take his first. As Hornacek and Russell come back in for the Jazz. He makes his first. Foster toes the line for his second, and he's good on both. Scott Brooks now with the action for the Jazz. And he's fouled by Stockton. That's Stockton's 3rd. And Hornacek will have to come in for Stockton. As Anderson comes in and Hornacek moves over to point guard. The Rockets move the ball up court, kick it into Olajuwon in the post. Byron Russell dips down into the lane and steals the ball from Olajuwon. That's his 2nd steal, and they're off on the fast break. But Hornacek throws the ball away. That's his 2nd turnover. As Russell comes in for Anderson, and Morris will swing. Russell swings over to shooting guard as Morris comes in at small forward. Scott Brooks with the action. He shoots and scores his 5th point. Give the assist to Olajuwon. Byron Russell now with the ball. He shoots and he's fouled. Free throw coming for Russell, Foul on Maxwell. Shoots his first. It's good. And his second. This is good for both, as this is now a 5-point game. Houston 35, Utah 30. Vernon Maxwell with the action. And he turns the ball over as he dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. Chris Morris now with the action for the Jazz. Being guarded by Mario Ely. He shoots, he misses. Rebounded by Brooks. Brooks with the ball. He shoots, misses. Rebounded by Otis Thorpe. Offensive rebound. And he will kick the ball into the post to Olajuwon. And Olajuwon scores his 10th point. Malone now with the action for the Jazz as they move the ball up court and kick it into Malone. Scott Brooks dips down into the lane and forces the ball out of Malone's hands as he kicks it over to Byron Russell. Vernon Maxwell D'ing up Russell, and he strips Russell of the ball. And they're off on the fast break. The Rockets on the break. Maxwell takes it coast to coast for his 8th point and a 9-point Rockets lead. Chris Morris now with the ball. Olajuwon D'ing up Morris, and he steals the ball. That's his 2nd steal of the game. And again, the Rockets are off on the break. And Olajuwon gets down early, post up, and Ely kicks it in for the easy 2 points for Olajuwon as he slams it home. Jeff Hornacek now with the ball for the Jazz. He shoots, misses, rebound Olajuwon, his 7th rebound of the game. As they move the ball up the court, Ely with the ball. Again, firing away from 3, and it is good for his 5th point and a 14-point Rockets lead. Chris Morris now with the action for the Jazz. He will swing the ball over to Malone in the post, and Malone will be fouled by Thorpe. Horry in for Ely. That's Thorpe's 2nd personal. Substitutions now in for the Jazz. Byron Russell now with the action for the Jazz. He'll fire away from 3, and it is missed. Rebounded by Brooks. Brooks walks the ball up the court, and they kick the ball into Olajuwon in the paint. Being guarded by Foster, he shoots, misses, and rebounded by Karl Malone for the Jazz. They kick the ball up to Isley, who shoots and scores his 7th point as he's schooling Brooks. Vernon Maxwell now with the ball for the Rockets. And he'll fire away from 3 once again, and he misses, rebounded by Malone. And the Jazz are off on the fast break. And Malone drives to the basket and is fouled by Maxwell. Malone steps to the free throw line for his first shot as Ostertag comes back in for Foster. And he will miss the first. He toes the line for the second, and it is good. 11-point Houston Rockets lead with 6:36 to go in the half. Ely with the ball, being guarded by Hornacek, and it's stolen by Hornacek. And the Jazz are off on the fast break. But the Rockets get back and stop the fast break as Isley swings it over to Hornacek, who's trying to take it into the lane against Olajuwon. Bad choice as it is missed, but offensive team rebound for the Jazz. Hornacek now again with the ball. He'll fire away from 3 and misses. Rebounded by Otis Thorpe with 6 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter. Ely with the ball, and he will turn it over as the Jazz look to bring it back up court. They kick it in to the big man, Karl Malone, and he turns it over. Cassell will come in now for Ely. As now the Jazz are going to put on the full court press on the Rockets. But the Rockets beat the press and move it up and kick it into their number 1 option, Olajuwon. Olajuwon being guarded by Ostertag. And he steals it, his 2nd, as he D's him up. The Jazz are off on the fast break. Russell gets back, and he's going to fire away from 3 on the break, and he misses. Rebounded by Otis Thorpe, who kicks it up to Sam Cassell, the shooting guard. And Cassell kicks it over to Horry for assist number 2 and the 9th point for Horry. 46-33 Rockets. As Howard Isley brings the ball up the court. Isley looks to fire away from 3. He misses. Hornacek comes in for the offensive rebound. Then kicks it into Malone, who's posted up. but he misses. Rebound by Robert Horry. Rockets move the ball up court, kick it into Olajuwon for his 14th point. Give the assist to Thorpe. Jazz bringing the ball up court, kick it over to Russell, being guarded by Horry. Horry with his second steal brings it up, slow it down, and kick it in to Olajuwon. Olajuwon misses. Rebounded by the Jazz. As they bring the ball up, they look to kick it into Ostertag to possibly get a foul on Olajuwon, but he misses. Good defense by Olajuwon as Robert Horry swoops in for the rebound. As they bring the ball again up court, Kenny Smith swings it into Olajuwon, being guarded by Ostertag. He misses, but offensive rebound by Robert from Otis Thorpe. And Thorpe with the ball kicks it over to Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell shoots and misses. Defensive rebound by Karl Malone. And they're off on the fast break. And the fast break is held up by the Rockets as they get back on D. Jeff Hornacek now with the action for the Jazz. He will be fouled by Sam Cassell. Hornacek going to the free throw line. Very good free throw shooter. He's good on the first and on the second. 3:12 to go here in the halves. Hakeem Olajuwon with the action, being guarded by Ostertag. Ostertag blocks the shot and gets the defensive rebound. Olajuwon is protesting the call. Will he get a technical? He will not. The veteran got the benefit of the doubt. Karl Malone now with the action for the Jazz. He shoots, misses, rebounded by Horry, who kicks it up to Otis Thorpe, being guarded by Malone in the post. And he's fouled by Malone. Thorpe to the free throw line. Toes the line for his first, and he misses his first. Takes the deep breath. Takes the second. It is good. For a 14-point Rockets lead. Jazz move the ball up court, kick it into Malone. And Malone is good for his 12th point. As the Rockets move the ball back up the court, they kick it into Olajuwon. Ostertag playing strong defense. Olajuwon with the spin move and the drop step, and he scores his 16th point. Give the assist to Horry. As the Jazz look to get the ball into Karl Malone. Malone misses the shot. Olajuwon with the rebound. Kicks it up to Otis Thorpe. Back into Thorpe. Posting up Malone. He shoots and scores. Give the assist to Kenny Smith. Jeff Hornacek now with the action for the Jazz. He will attempt the three-point shot as he fires away, and it is good. Give the assist to Malone, and he's fouled for the chance for the 4-point play. And Hornacek makes good on it. It's a 4-point swing and one trip down the court as they now put the press on the Rockets. Isley going for the steal, and he does indeed steal it. And they're off on the fast break. Malone drives to the hoop. Horry closes in, and he's fouled by Robert Horry. And Malone goes to the free throw line to shoot two. He's good on the first and on the second. And all of a sudden, we have a 10-point game. Hakeem Olajuwon with the action for the Rockets. And he scores, and it is another assist for Ely, his fourth. Olajuwon's 18th point. As the Jazz come up, and Malone looks to answer back. Being guarded by Thorpe. He misses. Offensive rebound, Ostertag, who kicks it back over to Malone, who's being manned up by Olajuwon, and he scores his 16th point. Hornacek's first assist. Kenny Smith now with the action for the Rockets. Being guarded by Isley. He shoots and scores, taking Isley backdoor for the layup for his 5th point. Jazz now with the ball with 46 ticks on the clock. Byron Russell being D'd up by Ori. And Ori with his third steal. Ori with the ball, being guarded by Russell. Will kick the ball over to Kenny Smith at point. Smith will look to fire away, and good for his 8th point. Give the assist to Otis Thorpe. Karl Malone now with the action. 24 seconds left in the game. 15-point lead for the Rockets. He shoots, misses. Rebounded Robert Ori. Ori with the action. Being guarded by Russell. And he is fouled by Russell. Russell's 3rd foul. Chris Morris in for Byron Russell. As with 8 seconds left on the clock, they kick the ball into the post to Olajuwon. Hornacek dips into the lane, forcing the ball out of Olajuwon's hands. They kick it back to Olajuwon. 2 ticks on the clock. And Ostertag strips it from him before he could get the shot off. But our half closes with the Rockets up 60-45. 15-point lead for the Houston Rockets visiting the Utah Jazz. Let's look at the recap. Olajuwon with 18 points and 8 rebounds, as Malone has 16 points and 7 rebounds for the home-standing Utah Jazz. So far, it's just better shooting and better defense by the Rockets that have them ahead in this game, as they are hitting 53% of their shots while holding the Jazz to 34%. They have 17 assists to 5. They're just moving the ball around better. Rebounds are pretty even. Blocks are even. Turnovers are fairly even. It's just they're passing the ball and getting better shots than the home-standing Jazz. As we go to the second half. 15-point lead for the Rockets. Vernon Maxwell in for Mario Ely. The Rockets bring the ball up court, kick it into Olajuwon. And he misses. And Olajuwon with the loose ball foul, his 3rd. Not a good way to start off the half for Olajuwon. The Jazz bring it up, kick it into Malone. Malone being guarded by Thorpe. He'll pass the ball around. They kick it back into Malone with 12 seconds on the clock. And another pass over to Byron Russell. Thorpe sliding over to Russell. And he steals the ball. Thorpe playing good defense on that trip down the court. Kenny Smith with the ball. And he'll be fouled by Byron Russell. That'll be Russell's 4th. And Morris quickly in for Russell. As the Rockets kick it over to Robert Ori, who's quickly fouled by Morris, who just came into the game. They inbound the ball to Smith. Smith will swing the ball over to Otis Thorpe. Thorpe shoots it over to Olajuwon, who lays it in for his 20th point. That'll be Otis Thorpe's 3rd assist. Karl Malone now with the action for the Jazz. He bounces it over to Ostertag, who lays it in for his 7th point. Give the assist to Malone. Robert Ori now with the action for the Rockets. Taking it down low against Ostertag, and Ostertag blocks it. The ball's tied up. It's going to be a jump ball between Thorpe and Malone. And Malone gets the tip. The Jazz bring it up. They kick it over to Morris. And it's an offensive foul on Morris as he slams into Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith, quick feet, taking the charge. The Rockets move it up, kick it over to Robert Ori, who takes it backdoor on Ostertag, who forces it out of his hands over to Olajuwon. Malone, doubling Olajuwon, takes the ball, stolen. Jazz on the fast break, but the Rockets get back and hold up the break. As Karl Malone now has the ball in the post, and it's good for his 18th point and Stockton's 2nd assist. Vernon Maxwell now will bring the ball up for the Rockets. Kicks it over to Kenny Smith, for his 10th point as he fires away from the wing. That'll be Maxwell's second assist. Karl Malone again with the action in the post. He's being guarded by Thorpe. Thorpe playing good defense. He fires away. He misses. Thorpe gathers the rebound. Kicks it up to Vernon Maxwell. Maxwell from long range fires away, and he misses. Karl Malone comes down with the rebound. Malone feeding it into Malone in the post once again. He shoots, misses. Rebound Olajuwon. They move the ball quickly up court, kick it over to Robert Horry on the wing, and he turns the ball over as it slips through his hands. Substitutions for both the Rockets and the Jazz. As Karl Malone again has the action for the Jazz. He kicks it over to Isley for a high percentage shot. He misses as Herrera gets the rebound. The Rockets move it up court. Smith kicks it into Olajuwon. Olajuwon over to Ely, who's open on the wing. Passes up the open shot to kick it over to Kenny Smith, who shoots, scores, and is fouled by Isley. Kenny Smith goes to the free throw line and converts the three-point play for an 18-point Rockets lead as Isley brings the ball up court. Being guarded by Smith. He fires it up. He misses. Olajuwon with the rebound. Again, the Rockets bring it up the court, kick it over to Horry, who dishes it over to Ely on the wing. Ely fired away the three-pointer, and it is good as he hits nothing but bottom of the net for his 8th point. And the Rockets are pulling away as they're up 21. Isley again. Kenny Smith with quick feet again, drawing the offensive foul. And the Jazz look to press full court to try to get some offensive going. But again, Isley with the foul, his 3rd, as he's a little too aggressive with Smith. Again, Kenny Smith with the action. Being guarded by Isley. He shoots, he misses. And Utah gets the defensive team rebound. Isley with the ball. Being guarded by Smith. And Kenny Smith fouls Isley. As the two guards are going at it. All right. Morris with the three-point shot. Bad offensive choice as Ely swoops in for the rebound. He kicks it up to Robert Horry. Robert Horry says, hey, I'll try that. And he's good on it. That's Smith's 4th assist as Horry drains the 3. And it's a 24-point lead for the Rockets. Isley's coming up. Again, he fires another 3 and misses again. But Shannon Anderson corrals the offensive rebound, kicks it into Ostertag and say, let's try to get a shot inside. But they miss there as well as Olajuwon gathers his 11th rebound. Hakeem Olajuwon with the action down in the post for the Rockets. Ostertag steps in, and he gets his 4th steal. Ostertag playing a good defensive game against Olajuwon. And the Jazz on the fast break. But it will be held up as they do have a hefty cushion right now as wholesale substitutions for the Jazz. John Stockton with the ball for the Jazz. He misses, rebounded by Herrera. They kick the ball up to Kenny Smith. And John Stockton with his 4th foul. It's 2 vital members of each team with 4 fouls. And Smith goes to the free throw line. He takes his first as Isley comes in for Stockton. Smith is good on the first and the second for a 26-point Houston lead. Karl Malone waving for the ball, said, give it to me in the post. They kick it into the post. He's wanting to take advantage of Bullard, and he misses. Defensive rebound, Thorpe. They move the ball up the court to Vernon Maxwell, who kicks it over to Kenny Smith, and it is good. Smith's wide open jumper on the wing. Give the assist to Maxwell, his third. Antoine Carr now with the ball for the Jazz as they move the ball up court, and he shoots and scores his first 2 of the game. Otis Thorpe now with the action for the Rockets. He'll swing the ball over to Maxwell, who kicks it back over to Thorpe. Thorpe being guarded by Carr. He misses. Rebound by Chris Morris, who kicks the ball up to Howard Isley. He shoots, misses. Rebound by Karl Malone over Matt Bullard. Malone kicks it over to Shandon Anderson, being guarded by Vernon Maxwell. And Vernon Maxwell strips the ball from Anderson, and he'll move the ball slowly up court. Malone steps over and strips it from Maxwell. The Jazz will be off on the fast break, but Maxwell gets back, and he holds up the fast break. That's good transition defense by the Rockets. It's Howard Isley now with the ball, being guarded by Kenny Smith. And Smith with the steal. Walks the ball up court, kicks it over to Vernon Maxwell. Driving baseline on Malone, and Malone blocks the ball. Bullard, though, rebounds it and slams it home and will be fouled by Antoine Carr. So Malone blocks a shot into the hands of Matt Bullard, who dribbles slam dunks over Antoine Carr. And now the free throw by Bullard as Foster and Hornacek come in for the Jazz. And Bullard's good on the free throw as the Rockets are now up 29, running away with this game against the Jazz. Jeff Hornacek now with the ball. He'll fire away from 3, and he misses. Rebound by Vernon Maxwell. Vernon Maxwell with the ball. He'll fire away from 3. He misses. Rebound by Antoine Carr of the Jazz. He kicks it up to Isley. Isley turns it over. Matt Bullard now with the action as they move the ball up court. They kick it into Bullard. Bullard shoots, misses. Rebound by Morris. And the Jazz are off on the fast break. Vernon Maxwell again running back and getting back on defense, holding up the break. It's Foster is charged with the offensive foul as he tries to bully up Bullard, but Bullard with good footwork draws the charge. Vernon Maxwell now with the action for the Rockets. He'll fire away from 3. He misses. Rebounded by Chris Morris. 52 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Rockets up 29. Foster kicks the ball over to Morris. Morris being guarded by Ely. Swings it around and scores. Vernon Maxwell now with the action. He fires another 3. He's 1 for 6. Ease up, Vernon. He misses another one, but he follows his shot, gets the rebound, and scores his 10th point. Isley. He shoots, misses, rebounded by Brooks. As it looks like the Jazz are just running down and chucking up shots. It's Bullard now. Will try a 3-pointer. It's like they can't get beyond the arc. They're firing away. Hornacek with the defensive rebound. Jazz off on the fast break, but Isley holds it up. Antoine Carr now. 8 seconds to go in the period. Swings it over to Hornacek, who looks to shoot at the buzzer. He misses. Rebounded by Foster. And that's the end of the quarter. Huge quarter by the Rockets. They extended the lead as the Jazz scored 8 points. 8 points in the period. Let's take a look at some. In the third quarter, the Jazz were 4 for 19, 21%. They scored 8 points. They were outscored 22-8. No, miserable for the Rockets. The home team Rockets. Olajuwon has 20 points, 11 rebounds. Malone with 18 and 9. So the two stars are playing well against each other. It's the supporting cast that's getting it done for the Rockets. Olajuwon back in for Bullard with four fouls. Olajuwon will have to take it easy. But here we go. Here's the fourth. The Jazz kick it in to Greg Foster, who shoots. He misses. Defensive rebound by the Rockets. Mario Ely with the ball. He shoots, score. Give the assist to Thorpe. The foul on Russell, his fifth, as Ely steps to the free throw line, and it is good for a 32-point lead now by the Rockets. Antoine Carr with the ball. He shoots. He scores. That's his fourth point. Give the assist to Hornacek. The Rockets move the ball up court. Kick it in to Olajuwon. Olajuwon with the ball. Foster guarding Olajuwon in the post. And Olajuwon backs him in and scores. The little drop step in the Hakeem the Dream move. Now Hornacek with the ball. Being guarded by Maxwell. Maxwell with the steal, his third. As they move it up court, they kick it into their number one option, Olajuwon, being guarded by Foster. This time he misses, but gathers his own rebound, and he shoots and is fouled by Foster. Olajuwon steps to the free throw line. Here's his first shot as Morris comes in for Russell. He's good on his first and his second. 89-55 Rockets. Greg Foster with the action for the Jazz as they move the ball up court. They kick it into Foster, being guarded by Olajuwon, and he shoots and misses. Rebound by Ely, who moves the ball up to Otis Thorpe. John Stockton dips down into the lane and strips Thorpe of the ball, and the Jazz are off on the fast break. Hornacek on the fast break, shoots and misses, rebounded by Ely. The Rockets will slow the ball back down, kick the ball into Olajuwon, being guarded by Foster. He shoots and scores. Give the assist to Ely. Olajuwon's 26th point as the lead begins to balloon. Malone in for Carr. Greg Foster with the action. Low percentage shot, but he makes it. He makes a circus shot. Give the assist to Stockton. Hakeem Olajuwon now with the ball as the Rockets move the ball up court and just kick it into Olajuwon, being guarded by Foster and fouled by Foster. That will be his fourth. Ely now with the action, being guarded by Morris. He shoots, misses. Rebounded by Foster. The Jazz move the ball up court, kick it in to Karl Malone. Malone being guarded by Thorpe. He shoots, misses. Offensive rebounded by Greg Foster. He shoots and misses. Another offensive rebound. This time by Hornacek, who kicks the ball into their number one option, Malone. Malone shoots and misses. Rebounded by Olajuwon, his 13th. They move the ball up court. Again, kick it into Olajuwon. Being guarded by Foster. He shoots and misses. Rebounded by Karl Malone. As the Jazz are off on the fast break. Stockton shoots and misses. Rebounded by Otis Thorpe. The Rockets move the ball up court. Kick it over to Vernon Maxwell. He shoots, misses. Rebounded by Greg Foster of the Jazz. And they're off running again. As Morris drives to the hoop, Scott Brooks moves in and fouls Morris before he can get the shot off. Morris to the free throw line. Shoots, makes the first. Steps to the line for the second, and he's good on both. As now the Rockets move the ball up court, kick it over to Thorpe, being guarded by Malone. He shoots and scores his 5th point as he takes the ball into Malone. The Jazz bring it back up, kick it into Malone, in the post against Thorpe. Thorpe steals it, strips Malone from the ball. They will not fast break as they walk the ball up the court, kick it into Olajuwon, being guarded by Foster. He shoots, he misses. Rebounded by the Jazz, Chris Morris. And they're off on the break once again. This time, Morris drives to the hoop as Maxwell closes in and scores and is fouled by Vernon Maxwell. Give the assist to Stockton, the foul on Maxwell, and Morris steps to complete the old-fashioned three-point play. And he is good on it. And that cuts the lead now down to 31. As Hakeem Olajuwon is the option for the Rockets as they move the ball up the court. They kick it into Olajuwon. He misses. Rebounded by Stockton. John Stockton with the ball. Stockton will fire away from three-point range, and it is good. Give the assist to the center, Foster. The Rockets will move the ball up court. They kick it over to Mario Ely, who kicks it into Thorpe for his 6th assist and Thorpe's 7th point. And a 30-point Rockets lead as Karl Malone brings the ball up court, posting up on Otis Thorpe. Thorpe with strong defense, but he will foul Malone as Cassell comes in for Vernon Maxwell. Adam Keefe in for Chris Morris. Jeff Hornacek now with the action for the Jazz as they bring the ball up court. Hornacek will look to shoot a difficult shot as he's being covered by Ely. Ely with the defensive rebound. They move the ball up court, kick it in to Olajuwon. Olajuwon over to Thorpe, being guarded by Foster, and he scores. Give the assist to Olajuwon. It's good interior passing from Olajuwon to Thorpe. John Stockton now with the ball for the Jazz. As he brings the ball up court, he's being guarded by Brooks. Brooks forces the ball out of Stockton's hand as he kicks it into the center, Foster. And Foster turns it over as it glances off his hands and out of bounds. Ostertag now in for Foster. The Rockets move the ball up court, kick it over to Ely. And Hornacek fouls Ely in the act of shooting. Ely goes to the free throw line for his first, and it is good. And the second, it is good. Now the Jazz bring it up, kick it into Malone. Malone is good for his 20th. There's Otis Thorpe now with the action for the Rockets as they bring the ball up court. They kick it into Thorpe. He misses. Rebound Ostertag. As John Stockton moves the ball up court, he'll pass the ball over to Keefe. Keefe being guarded by Ely. And he scores his first basket of the game and give the assist to Hornacek. The Rockets move the ball, taking their time, kick it into Olajuwon. Olajuwon, as Stockton dips down into the lane, steals the ball from Olajuwon, and they're off on the fast break. Otis Thorpe gets back, but not in time as Stockton gets behind him for the layup, and good. 99 Houston, Utah 71. Sam Cassell with the action for the Rockets comes up the court, and he's fouled by Hornacek. 5 minutes to go as Cassell goes to the free throw line. Shoots his first. It is good. And he's good on the second. 101-71. Houston. Stockton with the ball, moving up the court. Swings the ball around back to Stockton, being guarded by Smith. Stockton kicks it over to Keefe, being guarded by Ori. Ori moving over, strips the ball for his 4th steal, and they move it up, kick it over to Cassell. who kicks it into Olajuwon for his 28th point and Cassell's third assist. Timeout, Jazz. 103-71. This game has become a laugher as the Rockets have took the Jazz to the woodshed. Karl Malone now with the ball. Posting up Olajuwon. He looks to take advantage of Olajuwon, and he does for his 22nd point. Give the assist to Adam Keefe. Ely bringing it up for the Jazz. Ely says, what? Why not? I'm going to shoot the three. And he misses. Offensive rebound, though, Sam Cassell. Cassell swooped in for the offensive rebound. He takes it. Hornacek covering Cassell. Cassell with a column 2 shot. He misses. A rebound by Karl Malone. Karl Malone now with the action in the post for the Jazz. And Thorpe will foul Malone in the attempt of the shot. Malone to the free throw line. He's good on the first. And here's the second. Good on both. As the Rockets, again, just bring it up the court and kick it in to their number one option, Olajuwon. Foster guarding Olajuwon. Olajuwon with column 2 shot. And he misses. Rebound, Adam Keefe. Not the best shooting performance for Olajuwon. As John Stockton now with the ball. Stockton shoots and scores. Give the assist to Hornacek. 103-77. 2:48 to go in the game. This game's been over with most of the second half. Otis Thorpe with the ball. And he turns it over. Matt Bullard in for Thorpe. Brooks in for Smith. That's the second turnover on Thorpe. As again, they kick it into Malone. Malone misses, but offensive rebound, Keefe, who is fouled by Herrera. Keefe to the free throw line. He's good on the first. Here comes the second. Misses a second, but Malone swoops in for the offensive rebound on the free throw. And he kicks it over to John Stockton, who works it over to Hornacek. He takes the circus shot and misses. Rebounded by Brooks. Putting pressure on Bullard, but he gets the ball out of his hands over to Herrera. Herrera guarded by Keefe. And he's fouled by Keefe. Herrera to the free throw line for his first. And it is good. Toes the line for the second as he makes both for his 6th point. And a 105-78 lead for the Rockets. Malone with the action for the Jazz. He shoots, he scores. That's his 22nd point, but on 9 of 22 shooting. Not the best shooting outing. Olajuwon being pressured in the paint. He swings the ball around. They kick it back into Olajuwon. He scores, and it's good. His 30th point. 5th foul on Foster. Minute 12 to go in the game as Olajuwon steps to the free throw line and makes his and one for his 31st point. Malone, again with the ball. He's been guarded heavily. He chucks it up and in. Give Stockton the assist. As Olajuwon again with the ball in the post for the Rockets. Stockton dipping down again and gets the steal. Timeout, Jazz, as this game is all but over. Wholesale substitutions for the Jazz. Hornacek with the ball. He fires a three. He misses. Rebounded by Anderson. Anderson follows it up and good for his 7th point. Scott Brooks just slowly walking the ball up the court for the Rockets as this game is all but over. He swings it in Herrera, who's open, but he misses. But he grabs his own offensive rebound. Kicks it into Olajuwon. Olajuwon again with the ball. 24 seconds to go. And he's fouled by Carr. Olajuwon to the free throw line. as Anderson and Morris are in the game. Olajuwon makes his first 32nd point, and for his 33rd. 16 seconds to go. Anderson with the ball. He'll fire away from three, and it is good. Again, Brooks moves the ball up the court. Brooks says, hey, I'll just answer back. And he misses. Anderson with the rebound. Shannon Anderson being guarded by Cassell. And he's fouled by Cassell. He takes the first. And the second. He misses both. And that's the game, folks. A 110-87 game. Now, that is not a good outing for the Utah Jazz. Let's take a look at our stats. Let's recap it. First, for the Rockets, Olajuwon with a good game, 33 points, 13 rebounds. Malone had a good game, 28 and 12. But they shot 37% from the field. The Rockets cooled off to 48%. But the 28 assists to 15 is the difference in the game. The Rockets just moved the ball around the court better. They played better offensive basketball. And they took advantage of Utah. So we'll close that out. And so we've got one more game to go in this first round, and that's going to be between the 88-89 Cleveland Cavaliers and the 69-70 Indiana Pacers. But if we'll look at our bracket, you can see how it's playing out. In the winner's bracket, we have the 95-96 Seattle Supersonics against the 99-2000 Lakers. Then we have the 88-89 Detroit Pistons against the 95-96 Chicago Bulls. Then you have the 92-93 Phoenix Suns going against the 86-87 Los Angeles Lakers. And then we have today's matchup moving them on. And you would say, well, where are the Boston Celtics? Unfortunately, the Celtics are in the loser's bracket. As we drop it down here, we have the 90-91 Portland Trailblazers will be playing the 83-84 Celtics. Then you got the 92-93 Knicks against the 73-74 New York Nets. Then the 75-76 Nuggets against the 71-72 Colonels. And then the loser of today's game will play the loser of this game. And that's the battle for the best double elimination bracket. And as we look at the schedule, let's take a look at the replay daily. It just gives some of the insights from some of these games. Shaquille O'Neal is king of the boards in their 112-110 victory over the Portland. That was a great game, by the way. He grabbed 23 rebounds. In that Portland game, Clyde Drexler scored 35 points in spite of their loss. And the game of the day was the Phoenix Suns against the Kentucky Colonels, which was a 121-107 Phoenix win. For the stats and everything, the points, Jordan, the 95 Chicago, scored 40. Drexler just right behind with 35 rebounds. Again, that 23 rebound performance by Shaquille. Magic with the assist, Porter and Shaw, Irving and Barkley, and Oriol with 4 steals, and Shaquille leading with 4 blocks. So this Battle of Greats tournament is going to be a fun one to watch. It's going to be a fun one to see how it unfolds as we go on. I hope you will enjoy me later and watch this later. Thank you. Soli Deo Gloria.